$1 million stolen. An equivalent of $1 million is about 11.5 million, 110 billion old cedis. She had 300 euros stolen. An equivalent of that is around 4.5 million, 40 billion old cedis stolen. She had jewelry, and I have the charge sheet here. She had jewelry to a tune of $95,000. You know jewelry? Watch, chain, earrings. $95,000, an equivalent of 1.1 million, which means that Cecelia Dapaah's watch, earrings, and chains can buy you a house at East Legon. 1.1 million Ghana cedis. She had kente cloths, 6 stolen, $35,000.
That one belonged to her husband. You have the charge.
No,
that one belonged to her
husband. It didn't belong to her husband. Read the charge sheet well. No. It didn't belong. What belonged to the husband were suits.
Yes, suits.
6 suits, not kente cloths. Kente cloths were $35,000, an equivalent of 420,000 Ghana cedis, 4.2 billion. The husband's 6 suits got lost.
Yeah.
An equivalent of 32,000.
Yeah.
That is the list. You, as a TV host here, if you take 3,000 Ghana cedis every month, you need to work for 100 years. Before you can make that $1 million. You, as a TV host. If you take 2,500 and the nurse watching me, who takes about 2,500, if you add the 300 euros to the $1 million, she needs to work for 333 years before she can come by that. In fact, the least of them, which is a husband's suit, that is 32,000. If you take 3,000, you need to work for 1 full year before you can buy the husband's suit. These were the monies and properties found in the minister's house. And mind you, and I come to your question, are you aware that if you have 10 items and 1 is stolen, you can easily know? Lantan, if one of your shoes is picked from your room, at first glance, you can know that your shoe is missing. Me, if my dress is picked, I can know. But if you have thousands of them and 1 is picked, you can never know. The people started stealing these items. They stole $1 million as far as June 2022, July, August, September, October, till the husband returned from work one day and found the girl still in their room stealing. That was where it dawned on them to go and sit down and count all the monies before they realized that $1 million was taken out, 300 euros were taken out. And then you tell me that it is not a peanut of whatever they've had. Look, it is becoming too much. We're in this country. And a lot of things are beginning to make sense to us. 43 million Ghana cedis was claimed by this minister, Cecelia Dapaah, that was used to drain the Addo Lagoon. 43 million. When she was asked to account for it in parliament, not a dime was accounted for. That same Addo Lagoon, are you aware that Mr. Ibrahim Mahama was dredging it for us free? Government of Ghana was not paying a penny. Yet Cecelia Dapaah claimed she used 43 million to drain it and could not account for this amount of money. People have been looking for it. Now we know where parts of those monies were drained. They were not draining the lagoon. They were draining their bedrooms, and those monies have arrived in their bedrooms. President Akuffo's cabinet has become an entire corruption hub. Almost every cabinet minister, including the real mother serpent of corruption, President Akuffo, have been indicted. And I state, 1, you remember the PDS saga? A cabinet minister, an energy minister, where a fake insurance guarantee was used in duping the state. The president himself and the minister at the time came to tell us that that entire deal they themselves sat to create. Just because it was exposed in parliament by the Honorable John Jenapo, they claimed and admitted indeed it was fraudulent and that they didn't know what they were doing. Are you aware that that PDS contract took 500 million from people in this country? Till date, ECG has been following them to pay back a penny of that 500 million. Not a penny has been paid back to the government of Ghana. We were in this country when Ameri was renegotiated at same cabinet, led by the then Boache Jako. A deal that was 510 million was magically escalated to 1.1 billion. Recently, Mr. Boache Jako has been speaking, and I'm sure you've been listening to him. He says the president's nephew, so the mother serpent of corruption's nephew serpent of corruption, sat down and they formed this entire deal and they brought it for Boakye Jaku to push. When he refused, what happened to him? He was fired. Just when the president was being exposed, he came to tell us that he was misled and he didn't know what he appended his signature on. We're in this country. When the Agric minister was supposed to go and buy drugs for army worms, he took 25 million, went to Guinea. They went and met a certain man. I don't know what happened. They make some concussions. When they sprinkle it on the army worms, they rather start dancing and even giving birth to many, many children. In this country, not a peso was refunded into the government of Ghana. We were in this country when the health minister took you and I, our money. He said he was buying Sputnik V vaccines. Vaccines that were $10. He inflated it to $19 per vaccine. He bought 3.2 million doses of it. None arrived in this country. When he was questioned in parliament, why he even went to cheapishly buy a drug that was $10 for $19. He said he wasn't thinking right. He was confused. He said his brain had left. He was lost. He
said he was under pressure.
Health minister.
Under pressure.
He said I wasn't thinking right. No,
the situation and the urgency.
Don't try to make things look beautiful for the man. The man said, I wasn't thinking right. And the pressure at the time confused him. It dazed him like he was in a boxing ring. None was brought to this country. Do you know how much the government of Ghana lost as a result of that? Then you had the chief clearing agent going to his hometown, stood on a podium and said, Health Minister, Ghanaians, we talk too much. Almost everybody on the table of cabinet have been indicted in one way or the other. Why? The president himself, Nyantechi, told us that when you give him 4 million, you will just catch him and put him in your pocket. As for Baumia, when you give him 2 million, he will shake the head and laugh. He will end up in your pocket. We're in this country. When same cabinet went to the port, okay, and salad rice got missing. It vanished. When it was being exposed, Dr. Baumia claimed he wasn't the one. That was his administrator. And the administrator was the one who facilitated salad rice. This administrator is called Kek Osei. My brother, what is the business of Kek Osei with salad rice? If Buta gets missing in a house where we have Mahamudu and Timothy, who stole the Buta? You clearly know who stole it because Timothy cannot be interested in Buta. What is the business of Kek Osei in salad rice? Mahamudu and Kek were in the room. Salad rice got missing. Ask Mahamudu where the salad rice were. Until date, not a bag has been brought back to the doorsteps. This is the country we live in. And just when we thought we had seen it all in the mother serpent of corruption, it had already hatched. And now we have sons and daughter serpents of corruption. Everywhere, the men are stealing, the women are stealing. This matter will not die. And I'll say it on this platform. No matter how many years it takes. Look, Cecelia Dapaah will have to tell us how she made this monies. She will have to tell us the taxes she's paid on these monies. She will have to tell us the businesses, because Article 71 holders are not allowed to engage in private business except directed by the Speaker. And so she will have to tell us when she got permission, if indeed they came from private ventures. She will have to tell us how she made it. We cannot sit in this country where school feeding caterers cannot be paid their peanuts. The worst of it is that our fathers, our grandfathers, great-grandfathers who decided to go and store their little monies at the banks were used in restructuring the reckless borrowing of President Akuffo. Our fathers, today, go to the health ministry. All men are dying. They can't buy BP drugs. They can't get their coupons from their pension bonds. All because you have a wicked president with his wicked finance minister who decides to use their monies to cater for its reckless borrowing in this country. Right. Yet, you have ministers of this country, our land, ministers of this country, storing their dollars in their houses. 2 months ago, our land on